Okay, well I got one.
And that's why you should never eat a taco while riding a dinosaur. Today is Wednesday, October 24th.
Did you die? Are you dying?
Choked up thinking about that.
That's exactly why you should never eat a taco.
Big picture homework due today. If you're at home with your big picture, things to make sure. 1, did you label which picture all 6 of your sentences were about? Did you realize that all 6 of your sentences had to be about one picture? Because if you did about more than one, you have to fix that. Did you label which ones are similes and which ones are metaphors? And then did you number them? Which one, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or something from there. We're going to be starting a new book report and talking about that here in a moment. You have until next Friday, which is not until November, so not until next month, but you have until then not to finish your book, but just at least pick out a book and show it to me. And then we'll talk about the book report here in a second. If you have test corrections, make sure I get those. We also have a thing called Camp Tecumseh coming up, and your parents are going to be giving you permission slips to turn in. So I'll need permission slips turned in from you. There is a page on my website called Camp Tecumseh, which you can go look at. Volleyball today, game today after school, where I'm going to be pounding kids in the face. It's going to be great. For $1, we have bell work. Bell work. For the bell work, you're going to pick something in my room, and you are going to describe it using 5 sentences. If you're at home, that's going to be a little bit tougher on you. You can go to the front page of my website, and there's a picture of my room that you can use to zoom in. Or you can use one of the items that are right there, but you're going to use 5 sentences to describe an item. Or you could describe me, because technically I'm an item. Or you could describe yourself, because you can't really insult yourself. And if you make yourself cry, then therapy. What you're going to do is 2 similes, and then 2 metaphors, and then just 1 random sentence about whatever that particular thing might be. So now, what we're going to do is go through and take a look at some of your examples and see what you guys came up with and give you guys a chance to read one of them out loud. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to randomly pick on you, and you're going to read it out loud, and as a group, we're going to figure out simile, metaphor, what's being compared, stuff like that. But I figure we're doing it as a group, so it shouldn't make it as bad. So we'll see where it goes from there. The only thing that's going to be the toughest thing on you is I'm going to start with Huddleston, who volunteered to go first, and then Becca's going to choose any of her 5 that she wants. Then the next person, you just can't pick the same thing that she picked. So you have to make sure you pick a different thing. Good job, Becca. Way to volunteer to go first. It was very brave of you. You ready? Of course I am. Good job, Becca. So now, anything that you want of your 5, go ahead and read it out loud.
The spider hangs from the ceiling like a bat.
The spider hangs from the ceiling like a bat. So is that simile, metaphor? We'll do it by raise of hands. That way if you don't want to vote, you don't have to. So just raise your hand when we get to it, and we'll go with the majority. So you say simile, metaphor, none of the above. I agree. All right. What 2 nouns are being compared?
Spider and bat.
Spider and bat. We're going with that one?
Yeah.
All right. So I figure the loud person answers, and if no one disagrees. All right. Ooh. And why are we comparing them? They both
hang from the ceiling.
All right. That works for me. Nicely done.
Yay.
DeLong.
That's me.
Good job.
You know your name.
Knowing name recognition skills are strong. Hang on. Kush, you have an issue? Good stuff. DeLong.
So I have to do the opposite one now?
Not an opposite, just because there's 3 choices, and you can't have an opposite with 3, because that's confusing.
Okay. This is about you, but I wrote a poem. And one of the lines is, his hairline receded.
His hairline receded?
His hairline
Recede. Oh, you went the Shakespearean route also. His hairline receded. That could be about literally anyone. So, once again, simile, metaphor, none of the above. So you have simile, metaphor, none of the above.
Insult.
Get wrecked.
Technically, insults could be similes or metaphors too. But I would agree. Nicely done. Alright, so now we can jump over to Renatowski.
What?
I was just throwing you off by looking in the opposite direction. So you just can't read the same thing he read. Okay.
The Spider-Man pinata is red like a sink demon's eyes.
Spider-Man pinata is red like a sink demon's eyes. So if you say simile, metaphor, none of the above, I agree, simile. What 2 nouns are being compared?
The Spider-Man's eyes and the Spider-Man.
So Spider-Man's eye, you said Spider-Man's eyes and?
And Demon's eyes.
Spider-Man and the Sink Demon's eyes.
Spider-Man and Sink Demon's eyes.
No,
Yes.
Spider-Man and eyes.
Spider-Man and eyes.
Spider-Man and eyes. No adjective.
Demon's eyes.
No, you can't.
No adjective.
It's
That's
whose eyes. Yes, it is.
You're describing whose eyes they are?
That's not an adjective.
So what's our final saying?
Spider-Man
eyes.
Correct. Spider-Man and eyes on that one. And they were right, that is an adjective. It tells you what kind of thing everyone's possessing. And then, why are we comparing them? They're both
Red.
nice, then that works for me. Schmuckle.
Schmuckleton.
Oh, yeah, right. You gotta read it.
They keep skipping over me. I want to make this video.
The skeleton's leg is a thin bow.
Thin bow.
I don't know.
I'm not mocking you. I was making sure I understood you.
Yeah.
So the skeleton's leg is a thin bow,
Oh, I get it.
like a violin bow,
Like
or like a bow.
yeah.
That kind of this kind of bow.
Scare me.
Bow or bow. I wasn't sure. It could be so many different things.
Bow.
What's that? Bratowski? I have a Rylan Bratowski. That's her right there.
Rylan or Ratchet?
He didn't have to remind me a lot. So
Oh, gotcha. Thank
I didn't know
you.
if you marked and then.
No, I don't.
Oh, I was added to my mind.
That works for me. Yeah. As long as it's,
I don't mark.
I don't either. That sounds like a lot of work.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I get to be lazy too. It's alright. And we get to make fun of Bratowski. That makes it even better. Winning!
Which one?
Bratowski, the one right there, who's really excited we're talking about her.
Ratatouille.
I know, it's fun stuff. Teamwork! What?
Why is she turning red?
Because she's excited. Oh, that was happiness. That was love flowing into her. She loves when we talk about her. Life. Let's see. So we have to there to that one. Oh yeah, the bow. I forgot. I got distracted by that evil stars teacher. So you have the skeleton's leg is a bow, thin bow.
Yes.
The skeleton's leg is a thin bow. Simile, metaphor, none of the above. All right, nicely done. Comparing, what are the two nouns?
The leg.
And what do they have in common?
The thing.
Works for me. Nicely done. All right, we'll come back to more in a moment. This is my next thing I have with you. Oh, Charger Challenge. We have our first Charger Challenge coming up next Tuesday. If you have no idea what a Charger Challenge is, that's because I haven't really told you much about it. It's a competition between the Stars, Globetrotters, and Heroes, where we get to nominate 15 kids to go down to a big battle royale to figure out which team is the best. In this battle royale, there's going to be, of those 15 kids, there are different events you get to choose to participate in. One that all the kids have to do is there's a hula hoop race, where it's not actually hula hooping. It's where you have to join hands like a big goofy circle, and it has to like go around you all, but you're racing another group and you're yelling at each other the entire time. It's awesome. And then you also have one, you get to volunteer, you get to choose what you want to do. But there's a balloon race where you have a partner, you have to put a balloon between your heads, you have to like sprint and race, put like around obstacles and things like that. There's one where you have to solve puzzles, and you have like little brain puzzles and stuff like that. You have to race other groups trying to solve puzzles. There's another one where it's dodgeball, but you can't move your feet. It's called colonial dodgeball, where your feet stay in one spot the entire time. It's all kinds of stuff like that. There's another one where you have to try and hit like a moving target with a ball and like be able to bounce it and hit it, stuff like that. But you're throwing it against someone else, and then has to, like, it's a teamworky thing. And so all that. Then at the end, your whole team comes together to do a trivia game. And then the trivia is not like trivia about like math and science, because that's boring. Sorry. We do it more about pop culture things, because it's written by Mr. Stumpf and Sturgeon, Fossil, myself, Jansen. So it's about like music and TV shows and movies and stuff like that. Whichever team scores the most points wins. When you win, one, you get your name permanently added to our school. If you ever looked on the hallway going down to science, where we have the house points board that's in the hallway, above that there's this long list of symbols and names. That's every kid who's ever won our Charger Challenge. So if you win, you get your name permanently added up there onto that wall, and it goes back like kind of like 10, 12 years, like that, of all these kids who have won all of our Charger Challenges. Plus, you get to become the background of my screen, because whichever team, the last Heroes group to win, you become the new background of my screen. So this is my last year's group that won. Hopefully we replace it with you guys. We also get a giant trophy that I cover with your faces and pictures and names and stuff like that. You also get a button that only 60 of our 500 kids get each year, because you only get one if you win. And then on top of that, you also get 10 B points. Tomorrow, I'm handing out invitations. We have roughly 4 to 5 kids in each class who get an invitation. you only get one invitation per year. And so if you get invited, that's the only time you'll get invited, but you can hold on to your invitation. So if you can't do it this time, you can hold on to it and wait till like the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 9 weeks, and then use your invitation at that time. I'm handing out 22 invitations. It'll be the first 15 kids who then sign up with those invitations. If we don't fill up, it then opens up to everybody else. The invitation kids get first dibsies, but then after that, any kid who did not get an invitation, if you want to do it, it opens up to you also. It'll end up being next Tuesday after school. All right. And I'll tell you more about it tomorrow when I hand out the invitations. I'm just sort of giving you a little teaser information about it today. Also, book report-wise, we have, as far as the book report goes, this is what we're going to be doing for the book report, because I do a different book report each time. This one does go a bit more, it uses artistry, because I like artistry, but this one goes off of your, I would say your drawing skills, but I'm a horrible artist. I'm more of a stick figure person myself. But I don't judge your ability to draw. I judge your ability to put effort into things. So what you're going to do is you're going to have like a little piece of paper, and you're going to have little foldy flaps like it's a cootie catcher. But it's the most basic cootie catcher ever because there's just 4 flaps to it. And then you're going to be going through and telling me the main characters in your story, the internal, external conflicts, the plot of what happens, and then the setting, the whens and the where. And then in the middle of it, you're going to be drawing 2 pictures. You're going to have 2 major scenes that happen sometime in your book. This is what you're doing for the book report. So different than last time, except that you're showing me the stuff that you read in your book. Is it possible to get extra credit on this one? Yes, but mostly just from doing really good artwork or doing really good writing.
Yeah.
There is no like doing extra things on there for this one, unfortunately. And so that's an idea of what you're going to do. On my website, there is now the new page link on there, so you're more than welcome to go take a look at that if you want to. But basically, it's just going to have the directions, it's going to have pictures of it and stuff like that. I will have example ones hanging over here to help you. Other than that, you'll be having your book that you have to show me by next Friday. You can probably start showing me your books tomorrow or this Friday, but I have to get like a little sheety thing to write them down on. I don't have sheety things, so you're out of luck there. Susits.
Will you provide paper again?
Same thing. Once again, you can either buy it for 5 B points or buy it for a quarter, or you can go out and get your own paper. I'm happy the same way, the same thing as before. Any other questions as far as the book report you think goes? Yeah. All right. That covers that. Just put a picture up there. There's another one. I have the good. And once again, that's not wonderful artwork, but that's still A stuff for me. What I'm just looking for is that you show me that you read the book. There's a scene. You have backgroundy stuff in there. Stuff like that. All right. Then the big picture homework. Excuse me. Nate. Good job. Lily.
What does it do?
Good question. That's on the
Look
website.
on the website.
Maul.
If I'm doing a 5-book series, do I have to bring in all 5 books when I show them to you, or just one?
Just the one. That's
Can
all
I
I.
bring in all 5 books?
See if you want to. That's fine with me.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, okay. Then for your homework. Now turn back to the homework. We're going to take a look at that.
I'm correcting you.
I'm so proud. Make sure you show me at the end. Let's see. Which picture should we start with? One.
That one. No.
Yes! 3.
One.
Please.
We'll jump to 3. I'll start with one last class. So what we're going to do is, who did picture number 3?
That's me.
Only 2 of you so far. That works for me. So then, for those of you who did this, we'll start with Emerton. You're going to go ahead and read any one of your 6. You're going to read it out loud to Sharp, and then Sharp gets to play our game.
Oh no.
Oh no, I need to get my word screen.
Actually, I trust you. Do you not believe in me?
I believe
No, I
in you to get it
trust
wrong.
you.
All right, Emerton.
Wow, I'm sitting right
So
here.
I can't read it.
Got to work. Handwriting.
That was your old house?
This calendar is as blank as many.
Oh.
It's as a simile because it uses the word ass.
I like your new house.
Tomorrow, we're going to be going on to a new Palmy thing and talking about stuff. And from there, unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to go over the homework. Life is awful.